Stormy! Stormy! Hey, buddy. Stormy. I can't wait to tell you about it, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man, Stormy, I totally made it. To the live drop. Gosh, where do I even begin? All right. Yeah, I was on the Twitch live stream. Yeah, I was in the very first group that went in. We were the first 15 minutes in there. And let me tell you something first. It is a pressure cooker situation. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Okay? Nobody knew. There were about 20 people there. We thought, hey, we're gonna be here by this Atlas statue, and we're gonna get some sort of pin or something, and we're gonna get like a code or something, and then everybody's gonna be on their merry way. Next thing you know, we're walking down Fifth Avenue, and we're walking, and we start off at 50th Street, and we keep walking, and it's like, well, how long are we gonna do this? And I turned to somebody and I said, has anybody talked to our guide, to the person who's leading us on this? And they were like, no. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. So I went up and I said, are you able to disclose where we're going? And he said, nope, I'm not. And I fell back and somebody said, he said it was going to be a long walk. I was like, okay. So we started off at 50th Street and 5th Avenue. We walked all the way down 5th Avenue to 39th Street. Then we turned right. And we walked down 39th Street for a few avenues. And we eventually came to a very nondescript building. And he said, all right, gather around. And he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys go upstairs to the 12th floor, meet the person there. They'll tell you what to do. We were like, okay, that's what we did. And they led us into a room, and in the room, the lights were off. Okay? And there was a flashlight, and it was shining on a wall. And on that wall were star charts. And in front of that wall was a table with a briefcase. And on top of the briefcase was a single piece of paper, and it had 5 constellations. And they were line drawings, so it was like, dot line, so on and so forth. There were 5 of those, and underneath were 5 dotted lines. So we got to work trying to find the matching constellations on the pages that were pasted on the wall with what was on this sheet of paper. And let me pause for a second to give you a breakdown of who was in our team. So the first thing they asked before we got up there was who's streaming right now that has the most viewers. And a guy who I believe his name is Sam said, I've got over 1,000. And everyone else is like, nope, not even close. So Sam on Periscope was our contact to the outside world. So we had him. We had another gentleman whose name I can't remember. We also had a father and son team. This kid was in his teens, and he had a bright green shirt on. His dad was a little older than me. And I think he was around just to make sure that this wasn't, like, nobody was going to get murdered or anything. So we had both of them, and then we had another father and son team. And the father, whose name, I'm sorry, I can't remember, he actually had a name tag on too. It said citizen scientist something, and I just can't remember what it said. And I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And he brought his kid along, and his kid went by the name of Citizen Scientist Axel. That was his handle, Axel. And Stormy, as you mentioned, you saw that kid in the Twitch stream. He found the most constellations. I think he found 3 on his own. And his dad found 1. I found 1. He may have only found 2, but it was, anyway, whatever it was, he was our biggest asset. So we got into the room, and we had to figure out how to open a briefcase with a 6-digit combination, and all we had were the star charts on the wall. So we got to work. Stormy, you use awesome as much as you want, because let me tell you something, man, it was awesome. It was awesome. So we got to work, and we tried to match the constellations that were on the handout page with what we could find on the star charts on the wall. And we did. And before our 15 minutes were up, we ascertained that the first letter of every constellation spelled out the word prime. Then we went crazy. What do we do with that? Every page that was pasted to the wall had a number up in the upper right-hand corner. We wrote all that down. I suggested that we try to find all the prime numbers on the wall and use that as a combo. We were desperately trying to follow Twitch. I don't think Twitch at that point. Game Detectives and the Periscope, and maybe somebody was doing Discord, although I'm not sure. And we could not. We could not figure it out. We could not figure it out in 15 minutes. Yeah, the constellations, man, it was great. So it was just, but we were totally on the right track, and we did a good job laying the foundation, saying, okay, prime. Yeah. Our time was up. They kicked us out of the room. And they said, okay, you have 5 minutes. You can tell Team B everything you learned. Go. And we did just that. And I'm fairly certain that Team B figured out the answer. And the answer, by the way, spoiler alert, but the answer, I believe, was the first 6-digit prime number. That was the answer. That's what unlocked the briefcase. And it was very exciting. So now, let me give you, yes, 100003. That is exactly right. Stormy. Yes, that is the first 6-digit prime number. There it is. Now, I want to give you my thoughts on this experiment. First of all, I want to say that I had an incredible time meeting everyone. And there were 20, maybe more people who showed up. And to all of you out there, it was a pleasure to meet you. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a great time. I am most sort of taken by the fact that we had one kid there. And that kid, citizen scientist Axel, was the one who was the most productive to the entire search. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. And I just want to salute him, citizen scientist Axel. And your dad, whose name I'm so sorry I can't remember. You guys were the glue that held the whole thing together. And I salute you. I salute you as a fellow citizen scientist. And I'll tell you what, if for whatever reason you guys don't get an Atlas Pass V4 and I do, you look me up, because I'm going to send mine to you. Stormy, what's wrong? What's wrong? You go ahead. Go ahead. It's late, buddy. It's after midnight. Go to bed. You got the best of it. It's only gonna get sloppier from here. Yeah, we'll talk in the next stream, buddy. Get some rest. Get out of here. Enjoy your day tomorrow, fellow citizen scientist. Thanks for stopping in, as always. Thanks, Stormy. I want to have fun claiming planets for the roomies. YouTube thinks I'm not getting enough information for a smooth stream, so I hope that's not the case. If it is, you just let me know. I've had an ongoing problem with audio lagging behind the video. I can let you know if that's the case as well. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything really crucial here, so just shooting the shit. Here's what I take away from this whole experiment. First of all, it was very lovely to meet so many No Man's Sky fans, or Waking Titan fans, or whatever the case may be. I feel very fortunate that I was in the first group that got in there to try to figure this whole mystery out. And I say that because nobody knew what to expect. Okay, nobody knew what was going to happen. It was only about halfway through the walk that, word kind of got back that, okay, well, this is a long walk, but nobody knows what that means. We have absolutely no clue. And my imagination was going crazy, right? Like I was thinking, well, wait a minute, we're at the Atlas statue. We're right around the corner from the Prometheus statue, right by the ice rink at Rockefeller Center. Maybe that's what it is. Hey, Insane Liam, welcome. I think it's just you and me, buddy. But thanks for joining. So as we're walking down Fifth Avenue, it's like, where are we going? What is the purpose here? And I gotta tell you, some people were like, hey, maybe, isn't there, thanks Insane Liam, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm certainly glad you're here. I hope the stream is running fine. YouTube thinks it's not, so I hope it's okay. Anyway, people were saying, like, yeah, maybe we're going to get a preview of 1.3, and maybe Sean Murray's going to be there. Maybe we're going to get led and see a new build of the game, and people were going crazy. It's like, but then we keep walking. So we started at 50th Street. Now it's 39th Street. Also, there was a really great theory that we were going to go to the Empire State Building because the Empire State Building is 16 blocks south of 50th Street. Turns out that wasn't it. Which is a good thing, because if you guys have ever been to New York, like, you don't want to be by the Empire State Building. It's a mess. Instead, we passed a Barnes and Noble. We passed the New York City Public Library, and I mentioned those because they asked us to bring books. I thought maybe we're going to go to a place where books are important. Nope, that's not it. We ended up going to a very random, basic audition center in the Garment District, 39th and around Broadway. And they shuffled us up to a room. And we had to try to figure this out. And let me say this. Let me just say this. First of all, the fact that they got 20 people in New York to give a shit and come to this without any idea of what to expect. Kudos to them. Then on top of that, they had to rent a audition space to do their game. Now, you could rent a space. You could do whatever the hell you want. And they rented the space and ran an ARG out of it. And let me tell you, that's not cheap. It's not cheap. So, first of all, they found a spot that had meaning to the lore of the game. And they walked us all down to a reasonable rehearsal space that they could afford. And they ran a simulation. They ran a game for us. And I just applaud them. I applaud them for doing that. That takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of effort. And to everyone who was involved, to everyone on the inside who was involved, I salute you. I salute you and I applaud you. And thank you. Thank you for what you did. I think we had a great time tonight.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Alright, let's see what we can dump off here. I want to talk a little deeper about the social aspect of it.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
And, geez, I guess what I want to say is that, first of all, I couldn't wait to get down there. I was so excited. I was so excited. I couldn't sleep. I told my wife, here's what's happening. You know that space game that I've been playing? Well, they're having a live event in New York. It's right by where I work. I want to go down. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, go, of course. So, but I didn't know what to expect. So, it's nap time. The kid's asleep. I should be sleeping. My wife's trying to sleep. And I'm so excited. I'm all in dither. I can't do anything. So it's 3:30 and I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. I gotta go. And I hop on a bike and I ride like the wind. And I get down to the spot and there's 10 people standing by the Atlas statue waiting. And it was just so exciting, and I held my book up high, and I was like, am I in the right place? Everybody greeted me, and I went around like an idiot. Hey, my name's Chris. What's your name? Hey, my name's Chris. What's your name? Hey, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. Hey, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. And I was so excited. I don't remember anybody's name. I don't remember a single person's name. But I was like, hey, I want to meet everybody. Oh, hey, what book did you bring? Oh, you guys already talked about that? Okay, all right. Well, what else? How long have you been playing? Are you on PC? Are you on PS4? What have you found? Hey, I just found my first Aquasphere after 500 hours and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was nerd central, and it was great. It was great. And I regret nothing, to be honest with you. But I was insane. I was insane. I didn't know what to expect. Here's what I do remember. The one person I remember is the little kid. The kid. Citizen scientist Axel. He couldn't have been more than... I don't know. How old are you when you're in 4th or 5th grade? And he was there with his dad, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name. But he was there with his dad. And we talked about No Man's Sky, and he said, his dad was telling me he started off on a planet that was toxic and gross and awful and green and terrible. And his little kid started off on a perfectly utopian planet. It was amazing. And he's cutting his teeth in creative mode, and he's trying to figure everything out. He's going to claim his own planet. And I just loved this. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, to wit. What I learned was that, first of all, if you're gonna go to one of these live drops, bring a something to write with, right? Bring a journal and a pencil or a pen. And you know what? We're all playing the same game. It's a good idea to bring a name tag. Or better yet, or not necessarily better yet, but alternatively, if you don't want to bring a name tag, if you don't remember somebody's name, it's okay to say, sorry, tell me your name again. Make some eye contact, say, what's your name again? Then move on. I think we'd all do much better to just remember that that's important. That's important. That shit's important. Sorry, what's your name again? Hey, I'm Chris. That's okay. If you don't remember, just ask me. That's important. That's important. And you know what? We have more phases to go through. We have more live drops to go through. So, jeez. I mean, that to me that's the biggest thing. And by the way, if you have a kid who is playing this game, or that you're thinking you might introduce to this game, who's around the age, I don't know, how old are you when you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade? Somewhere around there. It's a good time to do it. It's a good time to do it. And to be honest with you, I hope that the next time there's a live drop, there are more kids there. I really hope that. The other thing I learned about this is that, you know, somebody said this, and it was like, oh, come on. But it is true. There's a lower barrier to entry on this ARG than maybe typically you've seen in other ones. So, for example, you know, we really had everything we needed in the room to figure it out. And I think if we had put our brains together and we had talked a little more together, we probably could have figured it out, or we could have come up with some better hypotheses. Instead, what happened was we got a little panicked towards the end, and we got caught up with what's the hive saying, what are people saying, and to be honest with you, the comments were coming in so fast that we couldn't make any sense of them. We couldn't figure it out. We couldn't figure out what people had said, what we had tried, what we didn't try, why we had tried what we had tried. We had no idea. We had no idea because the comments were coming in so fast. And, you know, I do think that if we didn't have that, and not everyone did have that, because we were in a rehearsal studio in Midtown Manhattan. You know, Wi-Fi and cell service is spotty. We were lucky anybody had any signal at all to the outside world. But I wonder if we had relied less on that and a little bit more on our own collective brain power in the room, if we couldn't have made more progress. I wonder. At the same time, I say that, I also wonder, you know, we knew where the camera was in the room, and some people on Reddit have already made mention that they loved the moment when we realized we were actually on camera. And I'm going to go ahead and take credit for that, because I'm pretty sure I was the first one to realize that we were being broadcast. You know, we also could have used that to our advantage. Like we could have put the piece of paper up to the thing. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, those are things for the rest of you to think about for the next live drop, and hopefully there'll be another one, and hopefully you guys learn from this, because I think it's important. I think it's important to talk about. I think that part of this is a great social experiment, and I think it's important to talk about how this social experiment went and how it made us feel. You know, they asked us to take pictures of public residence percussion instruments. And then they asked us some boilerplate questions. How does that make you feel? serendipity, and introspection, and whatever it was, interest. So this is my chance to say how this event made me feel. And I will tell you that I was excited. I was thrilled to meet other like-minded players. I was interested to see what other people brought for their black books. It was fun to talk to people. It was frustrating that we couldn't solve it in the first 15 minutes. And it was frustrating that we were on the right track, but we lost sight of what was important. I think that we tried to rely too heavily on the internet. And I don't mean that as a negative. I just mean that I think we had the brain power. We should have given ourselves a chance in the room to figure it out first. And then when we had nothing else to figure out, we should have turned to the internet. And that's not how we did it. But that's my own personal opinion. That many people may disagree with that, and that's fine. That's fine. But that's my take, having gone through this. If you have any thoughts, if you have any questions, if you're new here, I am running down my experience with the live drop today for Waking Titan in New York City, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I'm happy to share them if you want to hear them. We've got 6 minutes. I can rush that to get to this ruin. You tell me what you want in the chat if you're here. You know what? I'm just going to rush it. Got my freighter right in the way. Oh boy. What a mess. I really need a space station. But I don't want to waste time with the space station. We're gonna go to this here ruin. Okay, we're going to pause for 1 second. When we return, we will jump to this ruin ASAP. So, thank you for joining. We're going to just give a pause for a second, and then we're going to jump. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. We're going to jump to this ruin, and we're going to have some more talk. Okay, so chat lines are open. Anything you want to say? We're right here for you. If not, just enjoy the space. Hopefully the asteroids don't get me. In fact, I think I'll charge the shields for
Technology
Yeah,
recharging.
okay, alright. Enjoy space, guys. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I want one more shout out to citizen scientist Axel, aka the Kid. This kid, to me, is the reason why we're doing this. Right? First of all, he was instrumental in finding all of the constellations that were on our handout sheet. We couldn't have done it without him. He had a singular focus, and it was finding those constellations, and he did it. And then when we found out that the first letter of all those constellations spelled prime, we had a really deep talk about what a prime number is. And his dad was right there to help. And his dad was the only one who had any kind of writing utensil. And his writing utensil was his phone. He had a stylus on his phone. He could take a picture and then he could draw on it with his phone. Nobody else had anything to write with. And thank goodness he had that. Man, thank goodness he had that. Because I'm not sure what we would have done if we didn't have any kind of documentation. So, thank goodness for them. So, some books that people brought. Somebody brought Hitchhiker's... Oh, somebody brought The Hobbit. Black cover version of The Hobbit. Somebody brought another book about the universe. Can't really remember. I, of course, brought the book about our solar system. Very simple book from the Museum of Natural History here in New York. Somebody brought the Bible. There were others. That's all I can remember at the moment. But it was a very diverse group, and it was interesting to me to see what other people brought and why. A lot of people brought stuff about the universe and science, and fantasy, and God. I thought that was great. I thought that was really exciting, and I think that's ancillary. Okay, so we went in, we solved a puzzle, we unlocked a briefcase, we got a new PDF. Great. In addition to that, I think it's important to reflect on the people who were there and what they brought and why. And I didn't delve too much into why people brought the colored shirts they did. I brought the brightest colored blue shirt I could find because it was the closest thing to azure I had. Lots of other people had blue shirts on too. Lots of people had not blue shirts on, but brightly colored. Didn't really ask about that. Doesn't matter. I did ask one gentleman and his lovely wife or girlfriend or friend, where did you come from? And they said Jersey. And I was like, whoa. Because to me, I was like, Jersey, yeah, it's so far away. Like, all I had to do was bike down. I had to just bike down Central Park West, and I was there in 15 minutes. But to them, they're like, it's about 30 minutes, no big deal. And she came, so he plays. And she came, and she was like, just be sure nobody dies, everything is cool. And I gotta tell you, something really funny happened. We rounded the corner on 39th Street, and I was talking to this guy, and all of a sudden, his lady friend was like, I'm getting some food. And he was like, well, how are you gonna know where to find us? What's going on? Anyway, there was a little tension there. No big deal. We walk halfway down the block. All of a sudden, I turn around. She's sprinting down the street. She's got a bottle of water and she's got a sausage in her hand. And she totally catches up. And he's like, yeah, you should have bought this for all of us. It was the funniest thing. She totally caught up. She's like, I got this. I'm going to get my sausage. I'm going to get my water. I'm going to catch up with you. Don't worry. And she did it. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was so funny. The gentleman whom I'm speaking about, I believe you brought a Bible. And I believe you said to me, hey, that's the only black book I had in the house. I love it. First of all, I love it. And I love your choice. And thank you for coming. I don't know that I saw you later on. So you may have bailed. That's cool if you bailed. Thank you for joining us as long as you did. I hope you had fun, man. I hope you had fun. I really do. And maybe that was a weird date, but you did it, and I think that's great. I think that's really great. Okay, I have to check my stream quality here, see if Alright, we're gonna go checking the stream quality. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Let's see if that works. Okay, well, my stream's out of sync. I'm gonna have to restart. We might as well take the last 2 hours and 2 minutes, rather, and 30 seconds to just shoot the shit. Thank you for joining. We're just gonna crash at this ruin, and we're gonna call it a night. And our audio's a little out of sync, but you know what? We're flying in space. It doesn't really matter. As long as I don't do anything like this, then nobody knows. Well, I think I said my piece on this. I do think it was a great social experiment, and thank you, Hello Games, and whoever the Waking Titan people are. This was a lot of fun. I think we learned a lot. Well, I think this is an appropriate place to end. We're gonna land at this ruin. We're gonna call it a night. And thank you all. Thank you, Hello Games. Thank you, Allison something, whoever ran the ARG. Thank you, Waking Titan. I had a great time today. And I think many other people did too. And I think we had some entertaining time. I think it was a huge success, and thank you all for watching and commenting and listening, and we're gonna call it a night right here. Let's look at this here ruin, and then let's call it a night. Good night, y'all. Ooh, a gold ball and a geck head.